Hello, friends. Listening to chat among friends. I hope you are well today. I am Juan.
The title of today's podcast is Fear is in the Story. I am Lazy.
Here, as another participant, I am Kevin.
And another one, I'm Eduardo.
Today's topic is about horror stories. Do any of you know this kind of stories?
Of course, they are very common all over the world, but what could be considered a horror story?
Well, horror stories are usually short stories that belong to the literary or popular realm.
What is their purpose?
The truth can be very varied, but if we go to the oldest horror stories, which were passed by a word of mouth, they serve to transmit knowledge, but the interesting thing about them is that they have a mixture of fiction to explain what is not understood.
Exactly, although in a more literary scope, these stories are seek to provoke feelings of fear and anguish, all this through the recreation of imaginary, fantastic, and supernatural situations.
Okay. It is good to delimit this mainly for those who are listening.
Yes, it will make it easier to listen to, but let's stay on topic.
It would be good if we each talked about some specific places, because this topic is very extensive.
So, we will talk about the countries that are closest to use. Talking about horror stories, what do you think about the ones from Mexico?
The ones from Mexico, I have heard some stories, but I don't know all the details about them.
Well, mostly horror stories in Mexico are better known as legends.
Although not all legends are about horror stories, are they?
No, of course not, but in this case we will focus on those in order to give a sense to this podcast.
Well, opening the subject, which one do you know? For example, I know about the Llorona.
I know this too. It's about a woman who goes down the street crying and looking for her children.
Yes, exactly. Although that is very general, but anyway, something about Mexican legends is that they cannot be defined with all details possible.
Well, you are right because depending on the region, the story itself can have challenge in the details, sometimes small and sometimes big.
The version of the story of the Llorona that I know is from a movie where it says that a woman killed her children because her parent was unfaithful.
Well, I know the some legend with different details. In my case, it said that her children drowned by accident when they were inside a raft.
In both of them, the something technically happens. In the end, the children died, and the that unleashes their relentless search for their children.
In the end, this one sounds like a true story apart from the ghost. It seems to leave a lesson, something like taking care of the children near the water.
Do you also know the one about the black sharrow?
I do know it is the one about the man who, because of his greed, become what we know as the Charro Negro.
I don't know him. What is this story like?
Well, it is more or less like this. A young man wanted to stop being poor and to do he summoned the devil. In exchange for a lot of money, he sold his soul to the devil. When the day of the collection of his soul was approaching, he tried to escape with his horse. The devil caught up with him, and he and his horse he made him collect souls.
To sum it up, yes, it is more or less like that. It is a very interesting story, and when it is told in a little more detail, it grabs you.
I won't deny it. I was more interested. In this case, it felt very real.
Well, well, although there are many more Mexican horror stories or legends, as far as we know, they all have a purpose to teach you are warm, you're about something.
Probably the fathers and sons were basing on the story so that their descendants will have more reason to do what is considered right.
I think that in spite of everything, as in most stories, there is something real and something fantastic.
Well, friends, that's that's all for today. Thank you for your attention and come back next week to talk about another topic. This was Chat Among Friends. Goodbye.